Davengers. West Coast Davengers.
There's only one mantra that you all need to know. That's that one over there. See Todd, bye Todd.
Don't you look at me! Okay, you can look at me. Good evening, everybody. Hello. West Coast Avengers. Is this thing on? Hello, hello, hello. Hi, everybody. Hi, Dr. Nick. Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with. All right, everybody. Good evening. I know. Am I cooked? I don't know. I'm pale, so I'm not really cooked. I hope everybody's doing well as you possibly can. I'm here to provide you with some thought-provoking entertainment, some comic booklets, a giveaway, a fuck ice, and whatever else we want to talk about. So I hope everybody's doing well. And am I cooked, as the kids say? Well, we'll find out in a moment. But let's say hello to the friends in the chat. And also, don't forget to hit the like button while I'm saying hello to you. If you don't hit the like button when I say hello to you, I'm going to take it back. I'm going to take that like, I'm going to take that hello right back. I'm going to say, bye-bye. You say goodbye. I say see Todd, bye Todd. All right, Barbaric Being is in the house. It was not in your early year bingo card. Hello, Raymond. Andy Brenning's in the house. I'm Ron Burgundy. I love lamp. Yes, Dave, milk was a bad idea. Chris says it's he can already tell it's going to be good. I can't guarantee that. I make no guarantees other than death, taxes, and fuck ice. Daddy, I want another pony. I ate it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I said I'm sorry. Bill McGovern's here. Good morning to you, sir. Good morning to you. John is in the house. However you want to do it. Or we could cook with THC. It depends on what you like cooking with. Danny Hines is in the house. What's up, Danny? Danny's gets mentioned in a video coming up. Or got mentioned in a video. One of the two. Rami's in the house. What's going on? Speaking of my nephew, there he is. Raymar Brunson's in the house, and shout out to Raymar for putting out an amazing piece of art in the last week, or I guess it was this weekend. Bob Trottier's in the house. Wu-Tang Clan, they ain't nothing to fuck with. I mean, we fuck with them anyway, but not in the way that, you know. Anyway. Hola. What's up, Giovanni? Fog City Sam Gabe's in the house. What's going on? Flammable and inflammable mean the same thing. What a country. Maybe. What's up, Bob? I did. I said it twice. I'll say it again for you, George. Fuck ice. Let me know when you're coming up here next, by the way. Yeah, I know, Dan. What's up, Dan? I hope you're well. Dan actually has been sharing a lot about shit, I can't remember his name now. Greg, the guy who owns Streamhaven Books in Minnesota, because that's one of his stores. Joe Williams, that's one of his stores too. By the way, tonight is unofficially, as usual, brought to you by Swoon. Lemony freshness goodness. What's up, Simon? Too old, too French to know what cook stands for here. Yeah, I know. Same. I see that. Yep. I mean, what good am I gonna? I work for myself, so I can't go on strike myself. But I'm in solidarity with the people that are going on strike. I'm cooking suri. Does that count? Oh, Mark. Oh my God, I thought that said masturbator. Well, you know, whatever. What up, Jose? Yo, hitting that blinker for Davengers. You hit the like, it's really nice. And we say, as always, fuck ice. Yeah, that was it. Hello there, Odd Acid Tea. I had to read that. Hey, there he is. Paper Plastic. Jacob's in the house. That's right. What up, Kate? Long time no see. I know you're well. I hope you're well. And keep doing what you're doing. Yeah, I know the snow has hit pretty much the entire country really hard, except for the West Coast. And even when we do get snow here in the Northwest, obviously away from the mountains, if you live you know, on that side of the Cascades or in the, you know, that area, you get pounded. But yeah, we don't get snow really on the coast, and when it does, it's gone in like a day. I'll have to work on that a little bit more. What's going on, Mason? All right, so a couple of things to start off tonight. I am going to do a small sale. I've got like 30 items, put aside. Some stuff that's just either hasn't been out in a long time or stuff that I haven't even tried to sell. I'm going to do a giveaway as a thank you to just everybody. And like, I want to make somebody's day by giving away this big pile of books. Unfortunately, I have to keep it to the US only unless you want to pay shipping, but the shipping between US and Canada right now, it's not even as expensive, it's the tariffs. Everybody's telling me like that's gotten stuff shipped. It's like a $40 Canadian $40 tariff. So yeah, I loved Switchblade. I wish, obviously, for so many reasons we had more, but I enjoyed the hell out of it. Yeah, I enjoyed the hell out of it. The thing was with Switchblade, I read it in Ed's voice, and like the voices that he used to do, like when he was kind of talking about his kids that he knew or his sisters and brother as kids. So yeah. Uh yeah, I know. Texas, when Texas gets hit, it's terrible. I remember when the Super Bowl was down there, and it was like, but it turned the entire state into a shit show. Brady, I love you, brother. I hope you're doing well. Mark, I hope you're doing well too on the other side of the state. So I'll show off the giveaway in just a moment. If you didn't see me post the photos on socials today. But I do want to talk about the channel and why the cook thing. I also want to talk about direct edition. Let's go through that. I dropped an interview this week with Gary Whitta. Gary Whitta is a very funny British American. You know him because he co-wrote Rogue One. He wrote the Book of Eli. He's been involved in The Walking Dead, writing the Walking Dead Telltale games. He's written 4 episodes of Star Wars Rebels. And he's got a new podcast. It's a satirical, scripted podcast called See You in Hell. I dropped that interview and it's not doing too well. And you know, he hasn't shared it on socials, and I can't do anything about that except ask him again. But I will say, next week, if you are, let's say you're my age, then you know Bob Trottier is going to flip out when he hears this. If you're my age, you grew up listening to Skid Row, or you know, I interviewed Sebastian Bach, and he's going to be on the podcast next week. And what people don't know about Bach is he is a lifelong comic fan and collector. It's only a half hour, but he is more enthusiastic than most people I've ever encountered when talking about comics. He's like a 12-year-old kid for the whole interview. I am so excited to share that. I'll tell you who else is on coming up on the podcast because I've got all the interviews recorded. Eric Canetti. Eric Canetti is no, profanity doesn't matter, Hooch. Oh, that's awesome, Bob. Yeah, I mean, he's such a great guy. You know that. Canetti's on the podcast coming up soon, and Eric, obviously part of Ink Pulp, but also a great artist. He's got a 2-issue fill-in coming up on Absolute Batman, so we talk pretty much all about that. Kate, and I forgot to mention, like, the Gilmore Girls crowd will be excited to hear that. The people who watch Trailer Park Boys, because he's in that too. And then I interviewed Jim Starlin, so that's going to be coming up on the podcast. I mean, the guy, I could have done 4 hours with him, but I'll have him back on. You know, created Thanos, Drax. I mean, the Infinity Gauntlet was all him. He reinvented Warlock. He has done so much for comics, and I don't think he gets the props he deserves, especially for a guy who's one of the probably most important people shaping the Bronze Age. Who else? I'm looking here. I'm going to be interviewing Sean Crystal and Matteo Scalera. We're going to be recording that, and it's going to come out before OAX and before the Ink Pulp tour. Ben Earl, if you don't know him, he goes by the pen name B. Earl. He's done a stack of comics in the last couple years. His writing partner is Taboo from the Black Eyed Peas, but he did a Werewolf by Night story. He did the Daredevil Echo story. He's worked with Jeffrey Vergey. He's done some stuff with him. So he's going to become, we already recorded that. And then I'm locking down a date. And I'm okay to talk about this one because I know it's going to happen. I'm going to have Chris Stevens, Stephen Bissett, and Jim Rugg all on an episode of Direct Edition talking about the Tyrant Kickstarter that's coming out. So Direct Edition over there, like, certain interviews, they don't do good, and certain interviews do. Mark Silvestri, Matt Fraction, et cetera, et cetera. That channel is actually growing pretty naturally. But the reason why, um, I put the thumbnail in was to get people to come in. Unfortunately, like it kind of shows that I have to do kind of clickbaity things for live chat and chill to get people to come in, and I want to, have people to talk to. But the channel has been suffering, and I actually was shown a video today that even the biggest YouTubers are seeing a change in the algorithm, and we're seeing it across the board on social media. I mean, I can't speak for everybody in here, but there are some people, and you might be thinking, oh yeah, I have like 1,000 followers or 2,000 followers, and you post something that's really cool, like if you're posting comics or artwork, if you're an artist, and like nobody's seeing it. The people that follow you aren't seeing it. And this is something that everybody's talking about. But the channel, since like the first two Japan videos, nothing's really done well. And I don't even know if it's reaching people that are subscribed that don't watch the channel every week. I don't know, because the people that, and it does help. It really does help to give me a peace of mind to see who's really watching, is to leave a comment. And even if you have nothing interesting to say, you could just say, oh, that was great. Or I really like that. Oh, it looks like you had a great trip in Japan. Commenting really does show me and the creator like, oh, people are responding to this and they're enjoying seeing this video. And to me, the way I make content, look, I started this channel off showing the comics that I was buying, right? And when I started the channel, I had a dream of doing this for a living, but it's a dream. And obviously I'm here. I do this for a living now. I can't buy a collection every week. It's just not possible monetarily, and the comics just aren't out there. People don't, in the winter, people don't go through their garage and pick out stuff to sell, or they don't think about spring cleaning until it's spring, Garage sales don't happen. I don't live in Southern California where garage sales happen every week. So as the channel progressed, I started doing things. I started traveling to go to stores. I started traveling to go to conventions. I started going to other countries. The interviews started. Obviously, the biggest, and I'm going to address some of these comments in a second. The biggest video on my channel was the Todd McFarlane interview, for so many reasons. One being Todd, two being that my first video, I said, see Todd, buy Todd. Like this channel is built at the core from my love of his art and the comics that I grew up reading of his. And so the second biggest video on the channel is the top 10 covers I did, the video of Todd's top 10 covers, which also is on brand for me. And so I think about like when I started traveling, like, I've been to Japan twice, been to the UK for comics, specifically like going to comic stores, Canada, here, there. The travel videos do okay, but they still don't do as well as the joy I get of sharing them. And I don't know who's not seeing them. Like and then that comes into play of like, do I repurpose old videos and make new videos for the people that subscribed last year that didn't know I went to every comic store in Scotland, or almost every comic store in Scotland 2 years ago? And right. And so I see some of you are chiming in with like, yeah, Barbaric, you're saying, right, the comic digging. And it's great. But how many times, that's why I'm enjoying bringing videos from Japan, because how many times can I go to Portland and dig those stores until I get bored? And, I don't know if this is the wrong way to approach it, but if I'm bored and I'm not enjoying the videos that I'm making, I can't imagine anybody else is going to really enjoy the videos I'm making, right? It's as if they monetize as creators that don't dude, Dan, I'll send you a video that says exactly that. I'll send the video my editor Phil sent me today about that. It stinks because I have to go to the channel page. Yeah, well, and there's the other thing, like for the last, and I don't know how many of you, I can only speak for myself, but I have YouTube on my phone, obviously. I have certain channels set to give me the notifications when somebody goes live or posts a new video. Daniel Warren Johnson, Chris Pierce, Comic Tropes and Comic Tropes After Dark, like the Ink Pulp, the channels I watch constantly. For the last year and a half, up until about a month and a half ago, I wasn't getting any of the notifications. Not because they were turned off, not because I didn't get a phone. a new phone is because YouTube just wasn't showing notifications. Then about a month and a half ago, Daniel Warren Johnson went live. I got the notification. I get notifications that I'm live on my phone. It's fucking weird. So yes, and so I'm just trying to I am just trying to, Giovanni, I'm going to be doing a personal collection video soon, probably in a couple parts. It'll go on my Patreon before it hits the channel, just because I'm going to do an unedited for the Patreon, but the channel will be a little bit edited so that it's not me just, you know. Um, and Chris, I appreciate that. And I know there's most of the people that come to the live do watch the content. But I'm just trying to gauge, am I indulging myself too much on like the Japan stuff? I've put out, I think 5 or 6 already, and I've been, this week I'm going to be doing a collection that I got at a storage locker. Then I'll do a Japan video. I filmed a couple of flip through videos. They're 69 watching now. Wait, So for me, the unique stuff like Japan is so enjoyable. I'm not even a manga guy, but it's so unique, the content out there. And Bob, that's how I look at it, because when I see somebody doing like like when Chris went to Japan and he did a live from Japan, I was so fascinated by that because he was live in Japan. So I try to do the things that I think are unique and special. They're barking the algorithms on every platform, and it's infuriating. Oh, borking. Yes, they are. They are. I was looking for the video and it filtered to live video on accounts. Okay, so it's good to know because, thanks, Rob. Look at it from my position, and this could go for any creator, because I don't know too many creators that do live stuff except for like Ink Pulp and Chris, and I don't ever really hear from creators asking their audience, like, what are you seeing, what are you not seeing, what are you like. I wouldn't get offended if a couple of people chimed in and said, I don't care about the Japan stuff, it's just not interesting to me. Or I understand that, like, I used to watch every kayfabe episode, and I used to watch every kayfabe shoot interview, even if I didn't know who the person was, because like I'm interested in the people making it. And if you told me like, oh, I have no interest in Gary Whitta because I don't know who he is, so I'm not going to watch an interview, I'm not going to get offended. But it's good for me to kind of do these check-ins with you to see what's going on. Maybe not overindulging, but it might be worth experimenting with breaking up the content rather than just solid block. Yeah, and James, I thought about that. I mean, last year I put out a couple Japan videos that were like months apart from the last ones, and they did okay. Yeah, I mean, Chris, I'm not into shorts either, but this video, the one I sent you today, that was sent to me, like, it's like, yeah, doing shorts will still get new subscribers in, and some of those people don't want to watch long form, but some will stay. And, I'm still putting that, I'm fishing. I'm still trying to get new people on the channel always. I wondered, yeah, yeah. No, no, it's not different. It's not, I don't disagree with that. From the enshittification of the platform is felt. Yeah, and that's the thing. And you're hearing from some of the biggest creators. And here's my stance. The videos are fun. I can't go to Japan. Yeah, so, and that's why I'm bringing you along with me. Like, it is definitely a chore to make sure that I'm always filming the things that I'm doing. Like, I could never be a full-time streamer, like sitting here organizing comics and like you're watching. It's too much of invasion of my private life, my private time. But it is still a chore to film, so I just want to make sure that, people are enjoying it. I like the Japan stuff, and I like the comic shopping videos like the last Pittsburgh. Yeah, that Pittsburgh, I enjoy making that, and because I'm only in Pittsburgh once a year, if that, I feel like there's enough time refreshing. Like, I can go to Portland for a weekend and make a 10 comic shop video, right? But I can't do that every month because I I'm gonna see the same stuff too many times. Oh, well, I appreciate that. I appreciate you, Leon, for that. Yeah, I figured, Chris. I figured. Yeah, and I'm gonna be doing some shorts of it because it's still gonna be evergreen content. But the other thing is like, yeah, that's interesting. I mean, it's Right. And the thing is like for the podcast, which I want to keep growing, and I'm paying an editor for that, and I'm losing money on it. It's fine. It's totally fine because I know that going forward, eventually that will turn the corner. I've decided I did monetize both channels. So, I apologize that 4 years in from this channel, you're going to start seeing ads, but you know, I think shorts, I like shorts. I think a lot of people would love like a Monday night issue spotlight of a random comic that you have. Yeah, the problem is though, Brady, I am not a brief person. You've seen my interviews, you've watched I talk. I did just shoot two new flip throughs. I shot Daredevil Born Again, the artist edition, the whole thing. It's like a 40-minute video. And then I did one of the Japanese that super comic, the Dark Horse one. I don't know I don't know if I'll be putting the Dark Horse Japanese one on YouTube for the public, or that'll just be a Patreon thing. By the way, let me just mention the Patreon, $5 a month. Bonus videos from both channel. You get to vote for a flip through video, and then we do an exclusive sale drop once every 2 months. And it's $5 and it goes directly to my editor. I thought YouTube focused on viewer journey continuity. Deviating too far can affect how it sends out. Yeah, but those lifestyle travel videos, you look at some of them. I've tried to emulate them in not the content inside the video, but the delivery, the thumbnail and the title. And it did. I'm looking at people on Mandarake that don't know what they're looking at, who basically can't even speak about it, and they're getting hundreds of thousands of views. I don't get it. I'd love to. France would be interesting. I'm more inclined to go to Italy because I know people there. Plus the Italian stuff, I have more of a connection with. Mobius would be the only French thing, and Yoda. Well, no, Yodaworski's not French. Mobius is the only French, I guess Hergé, that I have a connection with. But I think I would have more fun in Italy as a vacation too. Start with GI Joe 21. That's yeah. But then I would be talking about how awesome the silent issue is. I should have said I don't personally want to make shorts. I'd watch your stuff as shorts. Yeah, and I get that, Chris. Like I've put out some good shorts before that I was really happy with. I just filmed the actual thing and then handed it to my old editor, Joe, and they came out great. And once Phil has got a little bit more of a grasp on his schedule, I'm going to hand more shorts to him for this channel to make based off videos that already exist. Yeah, like I did when I did that top 10 McFarlane covers video, we made shorts out of the Hulk 340 cover and maybe the ASM 316 cover. I can't remember. Your Art of Junji Ito flip through pushed me to buy it when I saw it. Oh, that's awesome. I was high when I made that. Yeah, I mean Lake Como, that would be a fun one to go to. Interesting. I've never been to Belgium. The only European countries I've been to are Scotland, England, and Holland. I'd like to get to Spain also. Shorts about my shorts. Eat my shorts. Yeah. No, the Yakima, yeah, I mean, but I have to be able to buy either a collection or go into the basement, you know? I mean, the other thing is, look, there's also merit to me doing like, going to a city I've never been to, like Albuquerque, and hitting up the comic shops there and just filming in each shop and making a massive, video. This will be my third time at OAX, which is coming up in 3 weeks. And I can't imagine like the videos are going to keep doing great. This may be the last OAX I go to for a couple years, or the last one I film at. Yeah, I don't think Angoulême, I'm going to hit Angoulême since they canceled it. I don't know if you heard about that, John, but they canceled it. So yeah, it's just, I'm not asking anything else from my audience other than, if you're watching a video, throw a comment. It does help engagement. Unfortunately, like really the two major things of engagement are, I mean, but the comment and watching it to the end. Because according to the old style of it, like if you watch a video to the end, it pushes it out to a new audience. I've read up on it. Obviously there's so many schools of thought. I don't think so, Raymore. I think I'm gonna skip Heroes this year and do New York because I haven't been home in 3 years, And I I love going to Heroes Con, but after last year, I'm like, yeah, it's great, but I don't know if I'm getting anything else out of it other than seeing friends, which is nice, but it becomes a, $2,000 weekend of, oh, that's nice, and then whatever kind of money I spend on art because I can't help myself. Dave, you went to Japan, by the way. Well, that's good to know, Mark. Yeah, it's good to know. It's good to know because you can never tell. I can only tell what I see on my screen. I have two YouTube accounts, this one and Direct Edition, and all I can see is what's on there. Um, I mean, it depends, like it really depends on what I find. I'm not saying no, but it's not something like Japan. I'm definitely going to go there to buy art to come back here and resell because I'm seeing artists that I may never see and stuff's a little bit cheaper. So I look at it this way, like if I'm paying $300 for something there, maybe I sell it for 450 or 5, but that same thing would be like 600 here and I'd have to sell it for 9 and then it becomes a little bit more expensive for anybody else buying it. Let's go to comic shops in New Zealand. I have friends that live in New Zealand that have always told me, Dave, if you want to come to New Zealand, we will take care of you. Like show you around and, get you a place to stay. So it's a place I've always wanted to go. Chris, let's do it. Danny, if I go 100%, 100%, which I probably will go. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Milo Manara is a legend. Yeah, Bill, I'm going to come back. I mean, no matter what, I plan on coming back this year for a visit. I'm just think it's smart for me to do it around New York Comic Con because the Eddie P Con's not happening this year. So I'm not going to be going to Pittsburgh in September. The problem is like last 2 years I've gone there. I don't want to fly to Pittsburgh, come home, then like 4 weeks later fly to New York, then come home, and then go to Japan. It's too much. Sounds like I need to keep tabs on when you're traveling to Japan. There you go. And I'll be letting people know. So if you start doing cities around the US, hit up your viewers in that area. Well, so Bob, and here's a thing that I've thought about, and I don't know if this is the year to pull the execution on it because of everything that's going on around the country. I prefer not to travel or too much around the US this year, but there's going to be a point where I do a road trip. And I post the cities that I'm going to, and not only, I guess, like, host a meetup maybe at a store, but then offer, if somebody's got like a crazy art collection or a crazy comic collection, like, hey, hit me up if you have like a really impressive collection and you were cool with me coming in and filming it. Hey, okay, let's go and make an episode out of this person's art collection or this person's amazing comic collection. Like that's something I would really love to do because I can just source from viewers and Patreon subscribers and stuff like, hey, let's do it. You don't have to offer me your couch. I don't sleep on couches. My back is too old for that shit. Very much. Yeah, Simon. I mean, I would love to say I'm coming up to Montreal, but it's been years since I've been there. And living so close to Vancouver, it's like when I want to go to Canada, I'm like, oh, I could just drive there. God, I love Canada. A series of postcards from local shops. Yeah, I mean, over the last 3 years, and if you've watched this channel, my love for putting, like, I want to put comic shops on the channel. I want to discover more shops and highlight them. I'm friends with a whole bunch of shop owners around the country. And some of my favorite shops have already been on the channel. I have to go back to San Diego. I need to spend a couple of days with Aaron and Zach at Now or Never. But that's one of the things that I want to do to enrich this community is highlight comic shops. I get nothing but joy out of it. Plus I get to buy books. Yeah, Giovanni, I think that would be fun, but it's got to be something that like, oh, like, and then there's something secret I'm trying to start working on, but I haven't gotten an okay yet. And it's going to involve something between comic shops. You'll see. Yeah, exactly, Kate. Like there's plenty of people like you guys do with the Comic Underground to to spotlight Instagram sellers and people, but I want to spotlight, yeah, like big people that have big collections, like coming into their house, obviously with permission, and like, yeah, like getting to see stuff that I would never get to see, we would never get to see because it's in somebody's personal collection, and it would uncover and maybe even shed some light on like where some of this stuff, like, and I'm thinking about original art, it is. Video Homicide, we love Canada. I love your that icon. Is that Johnny Ryan? Anyway, but the poutine and smoked meat sandwiches are the shit in Vancouver. Look, the sushi makes up for it, brother. Yeah, there's a road trip. There's two road trip ideas I've been working on for a while. It's just it comes to like me securing the funding so I can, like a Japan trip, like me having the money to walk away from my day-to-day selling so that I can afford, I mean, just to be fully transparent, like I had to save up over 10 grand to leave my house and my job for a month and spend it in Japan. And that wasn't the money that I spent in Japan. Um, yeah, well, I try to make the playlist so that you can find the things, the UK playlist, the comic shop digging playlist. So if you've never dug around in the playlist, please do so because you can find a ton of stuff. Yeah, we can film the man who owns more Jerry Ordway Superman comics. Yeah, that's me. That's me entering somebody's house. Oh yeah, just smashing through the wall. Hell yeah, Chris. All right, so that's just what I wanted to talk about. Now I want to show the so I'm going to be doing this giveaway, let's say 8 p.m. Pacific. This is oh no, that's not the camera setup I want. That's the camera setup I want. Oh, that's my computer. So I wanted to show this off. This is going to be like a thank you. Like I just want to make somebody's day by sending them this box of books. Hey, there's Mike. How you doing, brother? Well, thank you for that analyzation. I hope you're well. I hope you're not too snowed in right now. So I'm just going to ask if, when I do this giveaway, you know, US only, it's going to cost both of us $60. So if you want to pay it, you can enter. All right. So the last issue of Zdarsky Comic News, and I think this is the second to last one, a signed Jim Rugg signed Planet Death preview issue, which was an exclusive from New Dimension Comics. Jim gave me a couple of these. The Absolute Batman Annual reprint that just came out last week. This is the DWJ variant cover. Issue of Mage number 1. Matt Wagner. These are all people that are friends of the channel. This was supposed to be a signed book plate, Stan Sakai, but there was just a little stack of them at whatchamacallit, Fantagraphics, so I took one or two. Hey, what's up? Was it Now or Never Today? Aaron and Zach were at my place last night taking some stuff off my hands for an upcoming move. That's awesome. Glad to hear it, Gary. And if you don't follow or subscribe to Tales from My Spinner Rack, you should. Gary's got great videos. He's worked at San Diego Comic-Con for more time than I even know, but it's in the decades. Yeah, it is. It is, Derek. It is. And then the last two things are going to be these Todd McFarlane. Well, this is the assassination plot. McFarlane, Larson, ASM 320 to 26, I think. That's just like a readable copy. And then this Spider-Man Silver Sable trade has a McFarlane cover, but it's ASM 279 to 281 and a couple other issues. So this is going to go to somebody. I'll do that giveaway in a little bit. Let's say hello. Of course, Gary, you got it. Hey, Tom. Hope you're well, brother. What's up, Connor? You Jesus. Please don't forget to hit the like button. It helps greatly. And so I did promise I'm going to do a little sale tonight. It's just going to be chill. I've got posters, some artwork, some rare books, some cards, some comics. So you guys feel free to, if you want to buy something, you're welcome to. I just ask that you pay for it this week. I can hold it. I'll be doing a full sale next week. But I just thought I'd bust out some stuff out of the archives, stuff you don't see every day. And some of these books we can actually flip through and you can see. Some rare stuff, some weird stuff. Kate, it was so fucking good. I read both Absolute Wonder Woman and Absolute Batman today. Absolute Batman was the second part of the crossover with Diana and Bruce, and then Absolute Wonder Woman started a new storyline with Zatanna, and lots of surprises in that issue too. So I won't go into them, but they were both excellent. Look, let's be honest. Even if we're all Marvel marks in here, from characters or the past, DC is taking them and just going wiping the floor with Marvel. That being said, I watched the first 3 episodes of Wonder Man, and they were delightful and fun. All right, so this is Animal Quackers. What up, X? This is Animal Quackers by Carl Barks. So this comes with a signed print. It's numbered. Each one of these books was hand numbered, and the print's signed right here. The print on the envelope is numbered 614, matching the actual print. Let me just get this back in without fucking things up. So this is the non-Disney animal stuff that Barks did. Some of it's a little spicy, but not like super spicy, but all of it's beautiful. So this hardcover book, I forget how many, let's see what it's numbered at 1,000 copies. So it's pretty tough to find. It's delightful. It's weird and different. What's up, Jamie? I've got it for $150. It's beautiful shape. I don't think it was ever really read or anything by the previous owner. What up, X? Yes. And then I'll grab one other thing. We'll just move through this stuff fairly quickly. I'm not gonna make this a full sale night. I'm still down to chat. Max Immortal by Rick Veitch. This is the hardcover. There was never a dust jacket on this. King Hell Heroica. This is limited to 2. What up, Brandon? Brandon, this guy right here was just on Nerdy Musings, James's podcast, and I had a great time watching it. So yeah, this is Max Immortal. This is the first print hardcover, signed by Rick Veitch, numbered out of 200. This is 116 out of 200. It's in beautiful shape. Came from the same collection this Carl Barks came from. It's 120. To be fully transparent, I have this on eBay for 300, and I think I have this on eBay for 175. So, you know, these books don't really come around that often. So, feel free to claim it or not. Let's see, what do we got? All right, let's do something funny. Here's a couple of throwbacks. To the 90s. Spider-Man sticker book, The Insidious 6, box art by Joe Jusko. I think some of these are Bob Larkin. I forget, but this is sealed. It's in good shape. It's only $15. Yeah, major gloss on that, Derek. Rare as hen's teeth. And then there's the X-Men screensavers. This is more like to stick on your shelf or as a joke, like, I mean, unless you have a disk drive, but here are your discs. I think it's hilarious that this is on the plastic, because when you think about like the mutants and the mutant registration, it's so fucked up. But anyway, you got that great box art. I'm assuming that's Kubert. Oh, it may be Jim Lee, actually, now that I think about it. That's got to be Jim Lee. Anyway, $35. They typically sell for a little bit more than that. Put that back in there. Anyway, feel free to claim it or not. Let's see. How about some posters? You guys know what with plastic discs, exactly. You all know I love my vintage posters. How about this one? Has anybody, I mean, like, I've never seen this. Sergio Aragones doing the Image Universe, Prophet, Supreme, Spawn, Pit, Max, Wildcats, I can't remember her name, Shadowhawk, Ripclaw, Grifter, Savage Dragon, Shaft, and I don't remember who that is. That's got to be a Rob Liefeld character. Despot? No. Anyway, I can't remember her name. What's up, Travis? I've got that for 20 bucks. The only one that I could find to you price was there was a signed one for 75 bucks, but obviously that's not signed. No, is this Riptide? Maybe that's Riptide. Yeah, maybe that's who that is, Connor. Anyway, if you want that, that's 20 bucks. Vixen. I mean, like, it's one of those Rob Liefeld characters that, like, yeah, never went anywhere. Ollie Oxen free. It looks like Cammy from Street Fighter. I love how everybody's got their own thing. Hello there, Samuel. All right, here's another poster. Great vintage Nightfall, Sword of Azrael poster by Joe Quesada. It is signed right there by Quesada. It was signed in 92. I've got that for 30. So let me know if anybody wants either of those. You can just claim by the name of what it is. Like, we're not doing letters. I'm not going to, sit and wait. If you want something, you want something. If you don't, that's fine. That is fine. All right, a couple more posters. Let's do this one. This one is Gen 13, J. Scott. It's pretty big. I mean, it's not super big. I do love Quesada in that era. It's a big Gen 13 poster when the first trade came out, I guess. And it is, J. Scott and Garner. I don't know who that is. I don't know what Garner. I keep thinking Ron Garney. Anyway, that's 20 bucks. And then what's this one? Oh, this one's fun. See, if Bryce still came to my streams, he would buy both of these. He would buy that Gen 13 poster and Lady Death. I mean, you want to make your room look like the 90s. You got both of these posters. Stephen Hughes, Brian Pulido, Jason Jensen doing the inks on it. This was for the wraparound chromium cover. That one's 10. I mean, I don't know. I'm a 90s kid, so when this came out, this felt, I wasn't able to find a store or, my stores didn't carry Faust. If they did, they sure as hell didn't put it out. So to me, this was like the next, like the cool, edgy thing to find, especially because it was like, this was the Playboy era. This was the era of Pamela Anderson and Jenny McCarthy and all that. So it was all fake tits and stuff. And, they made this just for like the 13 to 17-year-olds. It's not what a real woman looks like, but we were all kids. All right, I got you, Vince. Thank you. Doesn't make it not cool looking. And Brady's going to take the Azrael. All right, Brady, thank you. Yeah, if you're a longtime Dave Angelino, whenever I can find vintage posters, I can bring them your way. I mean, I still have a lot. I have a big collection of them for myself. Thank you, Vince. Thank you, Brady. All right, let's do some comics. Let's do at least one comic. I thought I would offer this up because Finch is going to be at Emerald City and Finch is going to be at OAX. This is Miles Morales 23. It's a 1 in 50 variant cover. I don't know, but this may be the only time that Finch ever did Miles. It's near mint, 1 in 50, and I've got that for 25. And then for you art fans, there we go. That'll get the glare off there. Okay, well, I showed you the price. I think I showed this off before, but I don't think I ever flipped through it. This is Sherm Oscuro. This is Francesco Francovillia's sketchbook. Hooch, were you claiming Miles? Because Xavier, if not, Xavier is. Francesco Francavilla did a 30-day journey of silver screen classic monster movie sketches. It's numbered out of 500. There's like his little initial signature. His signature is F6 because there's 6. Is there? No, I don't know why it's F6. Anyway, no, that's fine. That's fine. You claimed it first. So this is a great sketchbook for anybody that's a fan of horror movies or Francesco. And Francesco is an amazing, amazing artist. I mean, he's been doing covers for years. He posts some great stuff on his Instagram. This is out of print. It's a used copy. Like it's a little, got some shelf wear, but there's only 500 of these. I've got it for 35. No, I got you. It's okay. Which I did say just call out the name, so. What do we got here? Oh, here's one for you 80s kids. I've got the full run of Sectars, all 8 issues. Who's the artist on this? Mark Texiera is doing the covers on this. Early Tex. They range from a VF to a VF plus or better. I guess they're all. No, first 3 are newsstands. 4 is direct. 5's a newsstand. 6 a newsstand. 7 and 8, and that's the full run. They only did 8 issues. It's cheap. It's $20. I think at one point this blew up. Maybe there was a movie rumor and they were going for like $100 for the set. And I guess I must have listed it at 75 and just forgot about it. And I looked at it today. I'm like, I'll just sell it for $20. I'll take these off. If anybody wants them, just claim the name. If you want him, come and claim him. All right, the only figure I put out tonight, Todd doing Green Goblin, but this is the gold label. This is the signed card version. What is this? ASM 312 cover. Signed. It's obviously never been opened, and it's $60. All right, Vince, I got you on Sectars. By the way, for anybody that doesn't know, if you ever want anything from my eBay store, message me and you will get it a lot cheaper than it's on eBay. And the eBay store, just West Coast Davengers, just like everything else. All right, Bill, I got you on the Francesco Francavilla. Good, Bill. I was waiting for you to buy something from me because I have a gift for you. I was just holding on to it. I'll leave that up there for a second. Only one Japan thing out tonight. This is actually from the last trip. Con Air, Japanese movie program. $15. I mean, it's Con Air, baby. What's up, Cal? Cal, you're going to want to stick around. There's something in this sale that speaks directly to you. And I'll get to it in a moment, but I'm going to grab another comic thing. Of course, Bill. Look, I think about it this way. You're somebody that I know well enough who's either buying stuff from me or been part of my channel, and you buy something from me. There's a good chance if like I found something that like cool. I love giving stuff to people when the brain connects, when I find something. Jamie, if Jamie's in here, Jamie, did you get your newest package? Because I put something in there that's specifically for you. If I ever find a Japanese, yeah, no, I brought one back on the first trip and sold it immediately. So I will be getting more of those whenever I go back. All right, Connor, I got you on the Con Air because your name's Connor. Connor. Oh, you didn't get it yet? Okay. There's something in there. Specifically, I've been holding on to give to you. It's cool. Yeah. Everybody got pounded by snow. Speaking of getting pounded, this has nothing to do with it, but this is Katie Skelly's Margarine. This is the original self-published issues. Each one of them is signed on the interior first page, and I think the last one has a little doodle. This is a fun book. It feels like, oh no, I guess one of the issues has a little doodle, I think. But it kind of feels like this is a little bit of an inspiration where Alice Darrow got some inspiration from this for for Tramps of the Apocalypse. $40 for the 4-issue set. Oh, hell yeah. Good to hear it. I think I actually have that issue. Here's a very expensive thing because it's very out of print, but for those omnibus collectors, the X-Men omnibus, Jim Lee or Jimothy and Mark Silvestri, and Chris Claremont, obviously. It's got shelfware. This came from well, you'll see where it came from because you'll see the episode this weekend. But this sells for about $250 sealed. So this had some use on it. I've got it for $175. Man, I remember living when I was, still living in Queens. Like, luckily, like people could walk to their, restaurants, and like the place across the street from you was open, and the Jerusalem Pita House was open, and that's basically like the last snowstorm we had, and whenever it was, like, must have been 2013, the winter of 2013, 2014. I remember what that was like. Anyway, I'll take those off, the Katie Skelly margarine and the X-Men Omnibus. This stuff will be up next Wednesday. So, okay, let's look at, I'll do 2 card sets, especially because, what's his name? Cal's in here, but I think I only have one left. This is the 1993 Marvel Masterpieces set. So this is the one after Jusko with some of the best artists. Like Jusko's in here. I think maybe Sienkiewicz is, Sienkiewicz is in here. This is a full 90 card set. It's in great condition. I'm not saying it's in gradable condition, but this is the second Marvel Masterpieces set. I have one left for $25. 1993 Marvel Masterpieces set. Let's do that. And then I had a video that I never published because I just never published it, and I could still publish it. But I bought 3 boxes of the Marvel Disney Moon Knight cards, just because I wanted something to open, and I love Oscar Isaac and Ethan Hawke. And I bought 3 boxes, I opened them, I filmed it. At some point, I had them on a shelf, and they all fell over, and a lot of the stuff got damaged. I did pull a May Callumway signature, who played, what's her name? Who turns into what's her name? Couple of printing plate inserts, but you could see, I don't know if you can see. Yeah, you can see that corner's dinged. A lot of the stuff got damaged, some of it didn't. So look, I bought 3 boxes, I opened them. There's probably a full set in here, maybe even 2 full sets. I'm just trying to recoup some of the money I spent, all of it, for $40. I mean, the signature should be worth about $30. All right, you got it, Vince. Thank you. So that I just put that up, and like if somebody wants it, they can enjoy. They might be able to make a full set. It's way cheaper than buying 3 boxes, but I understand if nobody cares about cards. I just pulled some stuff out. This has been sitting on a shelf for a year and a half now. And then, yeah, the Marvel Masterpieces, I've had like 6 of these sets, and they've all sold, and then this one just hasn't sold yet. So, because I put that stuff on eBay. But once my website redesign is done, I'm going to be opening a shop, westcoastavengers.com, and basically that'll be a place that you can go, and like the claim sale stuff will still be the claim sale, but there'll be plenty of stuff on the website where you can just click and buy. And then if you're a claim sale regular, it's like one of those things where it doesn't ship automatically, and we can ship with other stuff. And then whenever that opens, like Patreon, I'll have a coupon for every subscriber. That maybe it'll be good twice a year or something like that. Anyway, those are the cards. Oh, that's cool, Cal. Yeah, I just put it in there because it was staring at me on the shelf. I will most likely throw that on eBay. All right, let's see. Ooh, this is fun. Any Watchmen fans out there? This is the Watchmen portfolio. It's still sealed. It's from 1988. So what it has, you can see there's folios in here. It's got all these prints. The French covers from Watchmen, the promotional posters, and the American covers. And what's cool is it says note folio 1 and 2 were previously reproduced in a limited edition portfolio. This is the first time that was ever made available to the public. All right, Chris, have a good one, man. $70 for the Watchmen portfolio. Like I said, still sealed. And then for all of you freaks out there, Forbidden Activities for Neglected Children. This is the coloring book by Skinner, which is, you know, I guess technically a faux artist edition. It's not been colored in. It's got some stickers on that back page. It's got a little shelfware. It's out of print. So for any art fan, it's a cool thing. And that is $30. So the Watchmen portfolio is $70. It's still sealed. It's a little ripped here on the seal, and then the Skinner portfolio. That's weird. Why does it kind of look blue? Let's see if that. Oh, it's so. Anyway, those are there. Let's do. Those are done. Let's do these two trades. One you're probably very familiar with. That's Son of Origins by Stan Lee. I do believe this is a first print because, dude, I have one of those French portfolios that came to our shop years ago. Yeah, I know. I mean, Brad, if I didn't have two portfolios of just prints and then all the artwork, I'd keep it, but I just have so much stuff. Yeah, so this usually means it's the first print when all the numbers are there. But yeah, this is Son of Origins. It's a used copy. It's got a little yellowing on there. But it's only $10. $10. Can't beat that. And then Fighting American, Simon and Kirby. You guys know who that is. Those are the original strips reprinted in this great trade. Trade's in beautiful condition. And that's only $20. By the way, don't forget to hit the like button. We'll do the giveaway. After I show all the sale items, we'll just do the giveaway. Oh, yeah, this is a great one. Remember, I had to Bring on the Bad Guys hardcover. I think I sold that maybe like 4 months ago. I sold it way too cheap. Yeah, whatever. I sold it based on the fact that I didn't pay much for it. So it's like pass the savings down. If you're in this and you've never bought something from me before, I make it a point. All right, Bob, we got Travis as the first claim in there. I'm sorry. I see him right there. I think I could have got more, but as the buyer. But if you've never bought from me before, I kind of make it a point of pride to pass the savings on to you. Like, I don't have to maximize, unless I bought a collection that like, oh, I paid 20 grand for this, I have to make my money back. Well, but I really try to make sure that I'm pricing things based on how much I paid for them, not as much how much the last person or the last 10 people sold them for. Hey, there he is. Joe, what's up? Exactly. It's how, X, it's kind of what, if we did have that and it did work, and that's how this capitalism was based, we actually wouldn't be in the position that we're in right now in so many ways. All right, Connor, I got you on that. But late stage capitalism means everything for me and nothing for you. That's why 5 people own half the world, or whatever it is. Reaganomics. That guy was a piece of shit, wasn't he? He did so much to hurt people. Anyway, let's go. Ian, what's up, brother? All right, last thing that's like card, and it's not really. I've got vintage Star Wars or Empire Strikes Back photo cards. I think it's missing 3 cards. It's a 30 card set, and I only have 27. But these are pretty cool. They're bigger than a postcard. They're 4x5 or 4x6. 4x6 maybe? Yeah, 4x6. Guys, ladies, gents, germs. He's no good to me dead. We had a bargain. We had a deal. Pray I don't alter it any further. I think I'm watching Empire Strikes Back tonight. Ooh, Yoda. You seek Yoda. The greatest vehicle in all of movie history, the AT-AT Walker. Take my hand. Let's go for a walk. I'm your dad. Yeah, they are like vacation photos. Baku Baku. This is the rest of the episode tonight. The rest of the show is just me making Star Wars noises. I can't do R2. The land speeder, the snow speeders had such an interesting sound to them. They sounded like the Cloud City car's cool. They sounded like somebody shooting a suction cup at something. Oh, look how hot he was. Ooh, look how hot. Ooh, how hot look I was. That's a look too. Anyway, it's 27 of them. And Vince, I actually I'm inclined to agree with you. All right, so that is 25 bucks for those, which is less than $1 per card. Something, something, dark side. Something, something, complete. Greatest Family Guy episode ever. All right, so this is Lost Cause. The true story of famed Texas gunslinger John Wesley Hardin by Jack Jackson. This is a signed limited edition hardcover with the tip-in sheet. There was only 300 of these signed by Jack Jackson. This is 55 out of 300. Hey, Joe, I hope you're well, man. I'm doing the best I ever did. I'm doing the best that I can. I'm doing the best I ever did. Now, go away. I'm not actually telling you to go away. All right, Travis is going to grab the Empire cards. Hey, Daryl, what's going on? So anyway, this is signed by Jack Jackson. It's a Western. It's the history of John Wesley Harding, signed, numbered, $100. I don't know what my favorite Glup Shido is. Isn't that one of the... Wait, isn't that a character and not... I'm confused. Travis. Gotcha. Jackson, yeah, I know obviously more of his work as Jackson, you know, the underground stuff, but I thought this was pretty cool. Let me throw another... Only got a couple more items to show off, and actually that's it. 2 more items, and it's artwork. So I'll put this down. All right, for those anime fans, I've had this for a while. This is I don't know anything about Tenchi Muyo, but this is a Tenchi Muyo painted animated cell. It actually is the painted cell, and this is not a keyframe. There's just like a little character drawing here, but there's your painted cell. This came in a collection a long time ago, and I've been just kind of had it on eBay for a while. But if anybody's interested, I've got that for 75. No, Jackson's great. That underground stuff he did is amazing. And then this is something I don't think I've ever shown off before. Maybe I have. This is a 1942 King Features syndicated cartoon strip by Jimmy Hatlow. And it's called, what's it called again? They'll Do It Every Time. I don't know, Travis. What's up, Matt? So yeah, this is an original strip. Like, I can see the inks on the blacks here. It looks like it was signed to somebody, L.R. Bryan Jr., best wishes from Jimmy Hatlow. But I think that might have been in the printed cartoon. Who knows? But yeah, this thing is 1942. That's what the funny little aliens are called. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Action Jackson's my favorite Jackson. I love that movie. That's going to be $200. So that's a 1942 King. Do I watch any anime? I mean, I wanted to get into watching more anime, but I haven't, because there's so much of it, and I don't know where to start. And there's so much I want to watch. I want to go watch some of this stuff that maybe is a little bit limited series or movies and stuff. Like, I want to go back. I want to watch Angel's Egg. I want to watch Vampire Hunter D. I want to watch the Amano stuff. I just haven't done it yet. So anyway, those 2 are the last pieces of this little sale. Still going to do the giveaway, still going to hang out and talk, but feel free to, if you're rewatching this or you want to go through it tomorrow and just kind of go through, you can claim something for me and we'll just, pay for it and hold it till next week. Yeah, that's what I've been told. That's what I've been told. It was in Fraction Jackson, John. That is terribly hilarious. Cowboy Bebop. I want to watch, actually, after watching... after going to the art shows of Evangelion and the Yaz exhibition, seeing the Mobile Suit Gundam paintings and stuff. That stuff I want to explore too. It's just when I sit down to watch TV these days, it's either going to be like a limited series, you know, like Wonder Man or Pluribus or whatever, or I'm watching a movie. It's like I don't even know how to locate most of that stuff because I don't want to watch it dubbed. I want to watch it in subs. No dubs. Say no to dubs. Say yes to subs. Giant Robo the Day the Earth Stood Still. It's the greatest piece of animation ever made. If you say so, I can't disagree or agree with you. So I haven't seen it. That makes sense. If you want something that's amazing and pretty quick, watch Castlevania. I did watch Castlevania. It was enjoyable. I never went back for the third season just because I was like, Castlevania's good, but you don't need to call everybody a fucking asshole every 10 seconds in that show. What's going on, brother? Yeah, I mean, I would just watch the early stuff. Crunchyroll, okay. All right, Crunchyroll. I mean, I know Crunchyroll, so. All right, so let's go back to just the regular me. I'll do the giveaway in, let's just say, oh, I like hearing that, X. We'll do the giveaway at 7:30 Pacific, so in 9 minutes. Yeah, I do want to see Angel's Egg. I might just buy it on Blu-ray because I'm gonna get a 4K TV real soon, and I might as well, you know, start loading up on stuff that looks beautiful and it's a restoration. You said Gundam Seed, and then he said Apple Seed. That's hilarious. See, but here, this is what I'm saying. You guys are all suggesting great stuff. Ghost in the Shell I've seen, but it's been years. But it's like, imagine you've really never dove into anime, how overwhelming it is to take all these suggestions in. But I mean, there is stuff. Yeah, Ninja Scroll I remember watching when I was a kid. Fist of the North Star, but I think I was playing the game with my brother. I don't know if I remember watching the anime. I get that says Crunchyroll, but I kind of want to imagine there's a B version of that app called Crunchyroll. Bill, your taste is like, it's like 50-50. Some things I completely agree with you, and some things we completely disagree on. It's kind of hilarious. Like I said, you have so many similarities with my friend Will, and it's not just like your looks and your style and the things that you like, but it's the fact that like certain things that you love, I don't, and certain things I love, you think is dog shit. Okay? Yeah, see, we don't like dub. We only like sub. It's like Dom and sub. It's just different. Golago 13. I remember the game. And I probably watched the anime when I was a kid. It just, like, I feel like at some point I stopped watching all animated stuff, whether it was American or Japanese, and I put it all out of my mind. And Eva. They do. Got 3 anime vinyl soundtracks from the 70s. I'm clueless what to do with. They love their anime soundtracks. They were all over the place in Japan. Crunchyroll, exactly. I just saw a cool underground anime called Akira. Yeah, I'll DM you. It's so funny. I only own, I think, 2 movies in multiple disc formats. And it's Akira. I own 2 Blu-ray and 1 DVD, and Godzilla Minus One. I only own 2 Japanese box sets. Recently watched Vampire Hunter D. Yeah. Well, I mean, you're looking at it for the art. That's cool. I think you told me that. Nope. But I am reading, not that it has anything to do with it, but I'm reading Lone Wolf and Cub right now. It's fucking amazing. And it's easy to just pick it up and read like 3 books and then put it back down. That's hilarious. See? I can't do sub. I read enough comics every day. Yeah, and I get that, Brady. I understand that. I like subtitles though. Right? Then there's Maycross, which I probably watched as a kid too. Yeah, there you go. Making things happen, connecting people in the chat. The Lone Wolf movies are dope as shit. That's the next thing to explore. I'm gonna finish the first Chris Pierce Comic Tropes. He gave me the new omnibus that they put out. It's beautiful. It feels so nice when you're holding it. The pages are super tactile and the cover is. But then I'm gonna go through the movies and stuff because Josh Dead Language was telling me I should watch them too. But yeah, I mean that's the thing, right? It's like we all go through this when we tell friends about comics that may not be into comics, and people are like, "Oh, where do I start?" It's like the most intimidating thing. Or if someone were to, like, now that I've spent the time in Japan and I'm really in getting into manga, if somebody wants to ask me about, "Oh, what should I start with manga?" I've done the beginner stuff and I can suggest it. But with anime, it's like the very one of the very few things in the, let's just call it, the comic space, the comic anime space, that's still kind of overwhelming to me. Have I seen any of the 80s short film compilations, Memory, No, and I should watch Robot Carnival. The Otomo stuff, I really, really need to dig into that, because Otomo's work in digesting it is really Akira and then looking at the stuff I picked up in Japan, but not being able to read it. No, I've never digested anything JoJo. Sorry. Criterion Lone Wolf set is dope. Yeah, I probably will buy that next year. The Criterion sale. I bought like 8 movies this year. I actually bought them while I was in Japan because the sale ended while I was in Japan. There's Otomo and Satoshi Kon. Yeah, I really want to see. I really should watch World Apartment Horror because I can't find the fucking book. First, get a book. Second, encapsulate it. The end. Yeah, right. Like, it's funny. Speaking of slabs, I do have a CGC submission coming back. I did, usually at this point, this is like my second year doing very minimal submissions, but this year I'll probably do one more submission of big books and then that'll be it. I am looking forward to getting this back. I don't know my grades, okay? But I submitted an ASM 5. That's that first meeting of Doctor Doom and Spidey, and a couple other early ASMs, and they banged me for 2 tier level bumps. So I think these early ASMs are coming back in the 9s, which is amazing because they're for sale, but it's like, Jesus Christ, Yeah, I definitely will watch Robot Carnival at some point. Steamboat doesn't suck either, but the people were big haters of it at the time. Steamboat, yeah, I know people didn't like it at the time. Yes, I remember. Yes, of course. Of course. No, Blu-ray don't have regional from Japan. It's just, the problem is if you're buying a Japanese movie in Japan on Blu-ray, it's most likely not gonna have English subtitles. But the adverse of that is when you buy an American movie there and it's hella cheap, it's great. I bought the Suspiria remake, which I love. The one with Dakota Johnson and Tilda Swinton. I think I bought it for like maybe $5 on fucking Blu-ray there. I was like, yeah, score. Science Ninja Team Gatchaman. I love the name of that. Paranoia Agent anime is Satoshi Kon. Oh, cool. I didn't know that. Oh, wow. Perfect Blue. Yeah, yeah. We went to a Perfect Blue pop-up while we were in Japan. I think it was at Parco. I know about that book. Oh man, all right, Vince, thank you. You be crazy. I got you, brother. Let me just make sure that it's where it's supposed to. Okay, here it is. Well, I'm glad it's going to you. And I'll make sure I'll make sure to take care of it. Pack it well. There are 3 regions, I believe. USA and Japan are region A. Yeah, I think Ian is 100% right on that. Yeah, UK is the other region. And then who the hell knows what C is? Uganda. G-Force Battle of the Planets. I prefer Science Ninja Team. All right, so with the giveaway, like I said, if you're in Canada, I know a couple of you are, and you want to pay shipping, I'll split the actual shipping cost with you, but I'm not going to pay the tariffs. You're welcome to take part in the giveaway. I prefer to send this to the US. You got to put in a hashtag. That hashtag is melt ice. MELTICE. Hashtag melt ice. And I'm going to show off again what the prize pack is going to include, not the Sharpie. Although if you want the Sharpie. The DWJ, not the, you're going to get, I'll show you what's in the giveaway. You get the Spider-Man Silver Sable trade with the McFarlane cover, the McFarlane Larson Assassin Nation plot trade. You're going to get the Usagi Yojimbo postcard. You're going to get a copy of Mage #1, DWJ's Batman Annual #1, where he's fucking up some fascists. The Jim Rugg Planet Death signed preview, and 2 different Zdarsky comic news issues. So that's all going to be going to one person. Melt ice is the hashtag. If you're in Minnesota or you're, dealing with some stuff right now, I'm here with you, man, or women or people, whatever. So yeah, I want, I want to get this to somebody. I think about, I'll tell you something funny. Like when I go to do a giveaway and I start pulling stuff out for a giveaway, I get to like paralyzation because I have so much stuff to like in the inventory that I'm like, oh, this would be cool. This would be cool. Oh, I can't give this away because this is like a sale that I have to make, and then like I want cool stuff in there. So today I was just like, Dave, just start picking out cool stuff. And so I did. Yoshitaka Mano did the character design. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that. Well, look, Connor, we got to get rid of it. Any means possible. Any means necessary. So this is going to be the giveaway. This is, Travis, it's just hard to like, you get choice paralyzation when you're giving stuff away for free. Like I never look at it as like, oh, this isn't worth anything, or this is like, if it's something that's $100, I got to think about my business, right? But I also buy extra copies of stuff specifically to give away. Like today, I bought an extra copy of Absolute Batman that I'm just going to hold on to. Maybe I'll give it away, or maybe I'll just get it signed. But I always buy extra things with the intention to either like keep them or get them signed or give them away. Like, what's up, Leo? Well, Alien, I don't have any first print extras for sale. I kept 2 for myself because I want to get them signed by Dan. But if you need a second print, my shop still has some, so I can just pick one up. See, there you go. Yeah. I just, Andy, you know me. I'm like always I'm a people pleaser. I'm always trying to do nice things. These are my copies. Those are the foils that I bought to get signed by Dan. Dan is very kind to me, and whenever I see him, I always have a stack. He just signs everything. So, he's a good dude. Yeah, you let me know. So we'll do that giveaway in a couple minutes. This weekend's video is going to be a collection that I went back to MJ's. Last year I bought MJ, a buddy who I met. I bought his entire storage locker. And this year he moved some stuff from another storage locker, so I dug through it. And I brought some of the stuff I already sold, but then some of the stuff will be out at the next sale. That video will drop this weekend, and then the weekend after that, I'll probably do a flip through video. Maybe I'll do another Japan video. Still have to edit some stuff. Yeah, Planet Death's been a fantastic book. I'm enjoying the hell out of it. Yeah. Oh, Jacob, I can't wait. I only shared that image with one buddy of mine, my buddy Phil, who appreciated it. So we'll get that out there soon. The one interaction I had with DWJ is really great to deal with. He is a very sweet human being. Yeah. Oh, sweet. That's awesome. That's awesome, Rob. Yeah, I got the signed one, and then I got the sketch one coming. Well, Leo, I mean, I was just talking with somebody today, maybe it was at the local shop, my local shop. Shout out to Stargazer Comics. Also want to tell you everything about that in just a moment, but generally, I do wait for the trade. Melt Ice, if you want to be included in the giveaway, I prefer to ship this in the US. But Absolute Batman and Absolute Wonder Woman from the get-go, from the jump, were so good. I don't want to wait. Like, I don't want to wait. I read today's, both issues came out today, Absolute Batman and Wonder Woman, and I sat down and I read them both, and I had so much fun. Like, it is, I've said this so many times. What's up, Martin? Stay safe out there, man. Stay warm if you can. This last year and a half, I'd say, is the best reading that I like, the most enjoyable reading I've had in comics. If not like for a long time, maybe since I've been reading comics. Some part in the early 2000s, I'm going to say like 05 to 07, when like, I think it was Why the Last Man was coming out, Walking Dead, Invincible, like all of the big Image and Dark Horse and Vertigo. That was a lot of fun, but I don't think I've had more fun than right now with the Absolute line, Skinbreaker, Battle Beast. There's some other books I'm forgetting, the Cul-de-sac, Planet Death, Tramps of the Apocalypse, Somna, like there's just so much good reading right now. So, and then there's manga. I'm also enjoying, like, I'm reading, well, I know it's not like super new, but it's a book called Killer Shark from Another Universe. And I'm reading Die Dark right now. I'm enjoying that. Yeah, there's just DWJ Transformers. There's another one. So Peach Momoko's X-Men and now Psy. All right, I'm going to pull up the screen. Oh, Brady, the new issue was fantastic. Reading it in that treasury format too is also a lot of fun. By the way, if you enter into the giveaway and I don't have your address, if you've never like bought something from me or whatever, just if you win, just go onto my website and fill out the form. It's on the homepage, and that'll just give me your shipping information. Oh yeah, Orphan and the Five Beasts or something like that. Yeah, James Stokey's art is great. So if you want to be entered in the giveaway, hashtag Melt Ice. If you don't, I understand. And if you could hit the like button, that would be awesome. And if you watch a video, leave a comment. The things that help this channel grow. Here's my goal for the taking over the universe is to, get the scammers out of the comics by being the anti-scammer. Yeah, James Harren Demon's going to be sick. Yeah, it's going to be great. Yeah, the Ordain's really good. Planet Death's really good. And then Cul-de-sac, I mean, like, as good as those others are, Cul-de-sac was amazing. The finale was great. Wayshack did just amazing work. Wayshack was on Ink Pulp tonight, and it was fun seeing him draw with those guys. So, all right, let's do the giveaway. I'll give it 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yay! Yeah, his watercolors are insane, Andy. I mean, his art is just amazing. Hey, Josh! Holy shit! Here's the crazy thing. This is how weird the universe is. Not only do I know Josh personally, he's he lives 40 minutes from me. We're going to the movies tomorrow. I actually have plans with Josh tomorrow. We're going to see Boner Temple tomorrow. And I don't even have to ship these. I'm just going to hand this stuff to him. Like, how weird is that? It's the only person in the chat right now that I would see, like on a normal basis. Joshy Poo. That's hilarious. That's amazing. Maybe I'll let me do a second giveaway, because like I feel like I don't have to do any work for this giveaway. So why don't I do a second giveaway? Give me one moment and let me pick something out. I'll go. You guys can still hear me. I'll pick something out and I'll just give it away. I don't know what. How about this? Let's grab this short box. And here we go. We'll give this away. All right, I'm coming back. Just one comic, but it's a cool comic. I'm going to give away. Yeah, I'm excited to see Bone Temple. So I'm going to give away. I'm not joshing you. I'm going to give away a copy of Robert Crumb's new book, Tales of the Paranoia. So if you want to be entered into this giveaway, we'll still keep. I'll rerun, but you can enter the hashtag Melt Ice if you weren't entered in the other one. Yeah, Boner Temple. Boner Temple. It's a temple made out of boners. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Martin, not right now. I mean, I can probably get another second print. So I can pick one up if you want. No, Josh can't win again. So I'll do this giveaway. We'll draw again, and it removes him from it. In 5, 4, 3, 2, draw again. Oh, you guys can't see it. There we go. All right, Chris. Chris is going to win. Congratulations, Chris. Yeah, I'll personally deliver it to the winner. Chris, you're not Pacific Northwest, right? I know I've shipped stuff to you before, but I don't remember where in the country you live. Anyway, congratulations to Josh. Congratulations, Chris. Well, yeah, so the Absolute Batman, the annual, that originally came out last year, and then I guess it came out in December or November, and they just did a second printing, or maybe it came out in January. I can't remember. Connor, do you still need a copy of Tales of Paranoia? I might. Oh, I appreciate you, Joshy. I don't remember if you have one, but I might be able to get more copies of it. If I can't, for my LCS, I think Fantagraphics still has them. I was in December. Okay, thanks, Travis. So yeah, thanks to everybody that entered the giveaway. Just like I said, fucking times right now, man. Stressful for everybody. Unless you're a fucking weirdo bootlicker that thinks like everything's okay, then you're just brainwashed anyway. But for most empathetic human beings on this planet, let alone in this country, it's a tough time. So I just wanted to do something to make some people happy, Oh, it's so good. It's so good. All right, Connor. Well, if you don't order one, just let me know. But yeah, I don't know. I appreciate you, Danny, and appreciate you. I mean, I'm gonna stick around for a little bit. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'll plug it again. My Patreon link is in the description below. It's $5 a month, and yeah, they're getting a little more than the bonus videos I promised. I always put stuff up there that I'm just like, I'm gonna record this, or there'll be like a Patreon direct edition rant where it's not an episode for the general pop. It's more for people that want to hear me rant about shit. And I love you too. Yeah, Jacob. I mean, look. I love this. I love doing comics. I love talking about comics. I love talking about music, and movies and stuff. And the fact that I get to talk to people, even though I was talking to somebody today. All right, you got it, Brady. I was talking to somebody today about community and how like it's amazing to have a community, whether it's your physical community, the neighborhood you live in, the people you're friends with, the job you work at, whatever it is. Without community, and I say this as part of the kayfabe community and the ink pulp community, and we've got each other's like best interests and hearts when we are a real community. And like, I know this is about comics, but it's so much more, because collecting is a part of, like, if you're a collector or a reader, no matter what, you're a collector. Like, you collect books, you put them on your bookshelf. Sure, you interact with them, or you collect comics and you still, whatever. It's such a part of your personality. Some people say it's like and not in a bad way, but it's like, it's to help mental illness. It could be considered a mental illness if you take it too far, addiction or whatever. But what I'm trying to say is, it's part of your personality. So we're all here because a piece of our personality is locked in with comics and movies and TV. It connects us, and art is supposed to connect. And I just think, like, I don't think about it on a moment to moment basis, but when I have a conversation about it and somebody says something like, yeah, community is what keeps us as people feeling together. And right now, I think we need it more than ever. Like, so much more than ever. I mean, I think about how conversations I've had with people over the last 2 weeks, and like seeing what like Brunson posted art wise, like how many people are brought together. There's always going to be negativity surrounding something that gets seen by a lot of people. It's the same thing that we see in the movies that we love. Like, we can all agree that we love the movie, and then there's gonna be like 4 assholes somewhere being like, that movie's fucking shit, it sucks, and then they're gonna say something to you about it. They're gonna be like, but the thing is, we gotta focus on the fact that there are so many of us that love whatever we're talking about. We love the art. We love the Daniel Warren Johnson's Batman. We love Wonder Man. There's always gonna be negativity surrounding it. I'm not going to go into what's, all of that's been happening, because I've been just thinking and talking about it too much. I don't want to focus on positivity. And comics were so negative for so long when I was a kid. And I'm sure if you grew up, whatever you grew up, there's always been negativity surrounding it, whether it comes from your parents, your teachers, the other kids at school, the fucking comic store you went to. Like, how many people in here grew up going to a comic book store that made you feel like, don't ask that question, or why are you reading that crap, kid? And like, I want to be the opposite of that. And I still, as a business owner, there are some aspects of it that I deal with, like, slabbing and stuff like that. It's just part of the business. I don't make content weekly surrounding, I don't make content surrounding it weekly. I'd rather talk about art. I'd rather talk about the people behind the art, people behind the stories. But, I'm going to do things that I have to do to make money. They're not hurting anybody. But, I look at the comic space, and the reason why something like Comic Tim exists, and the fun that I poke at that stuff, is because, like, fucking, we grew up reading Wizard. We saw what it was like when the speculators came in and ruined comics completely, and the business decisions that were made surrounding it. So I see the people that make the comic content that's just, and the videos and the posts that are just solely about values and money. It's just like, oh, fuck off. Just go back to NFTs and go back to stocks and shit. And so in this community, I'm just love seeing when we, people having conversations, whether you're part of them or not, having conversations about craft or the stories or the art or even the movies. I love the movies. Like, for all the negative, all the bad movies that get made about comic properties, I look at stuff like Sin City, and I like still think it's one of the best movies that I've ever seen. It's one of my favorite movies. Or I think about, I don't know, I'm trying to think of something. Like, I just rewatched Infinity War, and I love Infinity Gauntlet. It's the thing that got me loving Marvel, because I was introduced to so many characters that I wasn't reading, I wasn't seeing. And so when Infinity War came, I was like, that movie is so amazing. And I watch it in awe, like I'm a 13-year-old kid again. Thanos on the fucking screen. And like, getting to interview Jim Starlin, I'll address that in a second, Gary. getting to interview Jim Starlin last week, I'm like, this dude created everything that, like he created so much of what is in that story and was seen on screen. And I love that he was very happy about how it came out, and he was happy watching those movies on screen. Most comic creators are poop, and I get it. You'll hear it in the interview, but so many comic creators that had nothing to do with any of the characters that end on screen, they're like poo-poo the movies. I'm like, come on, there's space for both. There's never going to be like mainstream comic reading on the level that this exists as a movie is never going to be on the same playing field. It's not possible. You will never get 100 million people or 50 million people to be like, yeah, I read that comic. There aren't even 50 million people in this country that are reading books as it is. Anyway, sorry. Just needed to go on a rant. Hold on. Every time a comic is slab, a dead collector weeps. You know what though, Gary? I do think about this because you've been around long enough and you know this. At some point there needed to be, and I'm not saying CGC is, there needed to be checks and balances because so much restoration was done on so many of those old books that went unchecked and unknown. And it's like, if you're spending, because let's just say that slabbing never existed, but obviously inflation and values will always go up as time goes on. Imagine paying $35,000 for an Amazing Fantasy 15 and then not knowing that it had glue or it had tape or it had touch-ups. I'm not defending CGC and saying that they do anything right. I'm just saying that at some point in time, there would have to be someone to be like, look, this book is worth so much money, but how do I know it's exactly what it was when it got sold? Obviously, condition's a different story, but I just don't know where that lies in. I love Weapons. I've seen it only twice, but absolutely love that movie. Your LCS gave you shit for wanting Youngblood on your pull list. Typical low-hanging fruit comment. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you know how I feel about that. Like, I may have problems with some of Rob Liefeld's personality, but I never had problem with the energy that he drew with, and I never make low-hanging fruit jokes about him because it's just, it's like whatever. On a live, Gary Vee said he went hard on Valiant, buying ridiculous 900 copies of Bloodshot. I'm sure he wasn't joking. I mean, granted, you're talking to somebody that owns 50 copies of Turok 1, but I didn't pay any money for them, really. Julian, that movie is something else, let me just say. Something else. I mean, I bought the first Youngblood issue. You know what? I knew what I was getting when I bought it, so I wasn't disappointed. But did I buy the subsequent issues? No. What I think though, I saw it in Jim Rugg's office. He did an interview with Dummy Zine, John Kelly. Anyway, what looks like, I'm gonna have to ask Jim tomorrow. Was there a Youngblood one Treasury released, like the original Youngblood one? Because I need that. I need that. All right, Travis, and we'll figure out when I'm gonna meet up with you. Appreciate you, brother. Have a good night. But yeah, I just these days I feel like, and Gary's somebody that's been in the business for a long time, and Gary's a good dude. But I feel like Gary's a unicorn of like some of these people that have been in the business for 40 years have always been very not friendly to people, and I love seeing, and some of you feel free to shout out your store in the chat, but like I can go off on a list of stores that I would say like these are some of the most friendliest business owners I've ever met, and they just happen to own comic stores. Stargazer, Damien's great, Django and Jeff up at Comics Place in Bellingham, Aaron at Now or Never, Aton at Cape and Cowl. I mean, my old LCS guy, John Riley at Grasshopper Comics in Mineola. I mean, I knew him when I was 15, 16, 14. He was the nicest guy in the world, Well, Martin, we're all waiting for that. I mean, what they should have done is jumped on, not even a live action. They should have just done a Sam and Twitch animated show after Spawn ended. Yeah, there we go. How could I forget? Debbie at Excalibur, Andy at Cosmic Monkey, Zap Comics, I don't know the owner, but I've been there once. That is a fantastic store. My buddy JD took me there last time I was in New York because I purposely flew out of Newark so that we could hang out a day. And we went to Zap and I had a great time. Oh, Dan, there you go, Wayne, New Jersey. Anyone and everyone comics in Brooklyn and Queens are amazing. Dimitri is the owner, loves comics, encourages reading like crazy. I don't know those stores, but I will get to go there. Hey, I don't like that guy. Now or Never is having a renaissance right now. 2 stores closed. Yeah, and they opened like a second store, right? Yeah, I was there only once, but obviously it left an impression on me so much that I talked to Aaron. I have had him on the channel. I talk to Zach all the time. Like, those are good people. Vault of Midnight in Ann Arbor. That's cool. I feel like Michigan's one of those places. I've been in Michigan, I've been in Detroit Airport, but that's, I think, the extent of it. I feel like that's the kind of state that I would have a ball exploring the shops there, and maybe in the summer go to some garage sales and stuff like that. Okay, so that's why I don't know them. Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. Like that's a great area to kind of build a more comics in there. Yeah, of course. Look, I know him personally, Jeff. Jeff will be the first person to tell you he's a kooky guy, but Jeff, at the heart of it, when it comes to comics, he loves comics. He knows a fuck ton about comics. He takes care of people there, and he takes care of the comics too. He is the only store, and I'll vouch for him on this too. He's the only store, I think, in entirety of Washington that actually has quarter bin. And he has a lot of quarter bin. So I mean, Jeff is an interesting person, but you get to know him and you just realize, like, it's just he's just a weird dude. And I get along with that. I'm a weird dude too. Okay. Ray said there's this nice little smut store down the alley where your favorite restaurant is. Fucking Ray. Got here while you're still alive. Hell yeah. What's up, Tripper? Let's see. Jeff is the definition of a character. Exactly. Yeah, yeah. He never, yeah, exactly. I mean, I can do differently because we have a relationship. So if like the conversation goes somewhere I don't like, I just tell him to shut up. All right, Gary, I appreciate you. And I will let you know. I mean, I definitely would like to come down. I just don't know if it's going to be for con or just for a break and some garage sales. He gave me a slice of pizza before. Jeff, are you in here? He's probably not because it's closed. He's closed, so I doubt he's watching this fucking show. But I like Jeff. Jeff has hooked it up. You know, for some of the people that have bought books from me, a lot of that stuff came from his store. You know, I mean, it gets harder, and one of the reasons why the videos, I can't do even collection videos once a month. You know, it just gets, sometimes of the year you just don't find collections, and I think anybody who's knows anything about business or money or just existing is that I can't just buy collections for the sake of buying collections. I went to Comics Explosion in Nutley. Those are 2 words that shouldn't go back to back. As a kid, and he's a character too, but we still chat long after he closes shop. That's cool. I mean, it also takes a type of person to run a business, let alone a comic shop business. It's a non-existent business model these days. Comic collection in Feasterville, Pennsylvania. He's Dave as well. Oh, that's cool. I've never heard of them. Where is Feasterville? Oh, because you're around Philly, so it's eastern. It's closer to Philly. Yeah, my only experience with the comic stores in Pennsylvania are in Pittsburgh, and there's New Dimension, there's Todd, there's Ides, there's Copacetic or Doom Planet. Great owners of all that stuff, great stores. I've been there once. No, I've never been to Amazing. Is it the bald guy? The other one I've been to is Belkirk Comics and Stamps. And the old guy and the woman, his daughter. I like that shop. I just don't get out there often. It's 2 solid shops here in Columbus. Laughing Ogre, which I've definitely heard of, and Pack Rat I've never heard of. That's cool. Yeah, Columbus. I haven't been to Columbus in Tom. I can tell you the last time I went to Columbus was 2014. It was when I moved from New York to Seattle. I drove cross country. I stopped in Columbus for a couple hours, and then I went to Cincinnati to go see Pearl Jam. Or maybe it was I went to Cincinnati and then went to Columbus the next day. Got into Klaus and Hernandez. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, it always takes like a special person to get you into that stuff. When it, like for people our age, where it like came out, before Titan Comics in Dallas. Bob, I don't think I've ever been there. I haven't been to Dallas in a bunch of years either. But it's good to know. I mean, what would be great is if I could like every month fly to a city that has, let's say 4 or more comic shops, do the rounds, shoot the video, buy the books, whatever, and then go. Belkirk is pretty cool. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that guy. I've never been to Mill Geek. I mean, I've heard Russ is a good guy. I've seen him before, but everybody told me it's like that store is, they focus on selling online. I mean, I've talked to Tom in person before. We're cool. At first, he didn't like Comic Tim. He's a young kid. He doesn't understand parody. Oh, yes. Yes, Jason's great. I mean, Portland, I forgot about Floating World. Portland is the comic shop city in the West Coast. I used to work there. That's all I'll say about that. It was good for a while. If only your money true produced. Well, yeah, Bob, it's like, I for example, like the Japan trip, right? I paid for the trip with the books that I brought home, but I didn't pay for the money that I spent on the, stuff I bought for myself. So it's just about me being smart about what I'm buying if I'm going on a trip. Ian, I haven't been to Fourth World since I was, probably my late teens. I loved Fourth World. It was just, I grew up in Deer Park, so it's like a half-hour drive for me, 35 minutes. So, not that Mineola was much closer, but my stores on Long Island when I was a kid into my teens was World of Fantasy, which was closed when I was probably like 12 or 14. And then Collector's Kingdom on Jericho Turnpike. And, Mike, his shop was great. I used to be a regular there, and, Mike passed away sadly. And, we had a great community of people there. But Fourth World at this point, and even probably even for the last 15 years, is the longest running comic store here in Long Island. And I almost think that it's the longest running one in New York that isn't Midtown. But I don't know. Fourth World's great. That's Scott Snyder's store. Oh, you were talking to Joe. Sam. Ken Cloud. Uh, I went in there once, and I don't think I'll ever go in there again. I don't know, man. It's hard for me to. I don't judge somebody that's got, it's on the spectrum, but I'll tell you that he was extremely fucking rude to me, and it was like I'm like, okay, I'm good. I'm good. There's so much in Portland that I love that I don't need to waste my time with somebody that is just instinctively rude. Yeah, dude. I mean, that place was a store that people talked about when I was a kid as if it would have been open for 15 years. So yeah, I'm almost as old as that store. It's younger than me. I'm older in that store. I don't know how to speak. But yeah, Cloud City, I don't know. I walked in there. Nobody in the store. It was like the middle of a Tuesday. And on their back wall, there was one of those Marvel Blacklight posters. And I was like, oh, is that an original or reprint? Because they, reprinted those posters. He looks up and he looks at me. He's like, it's a reprint. Looks back down. I'm like, all right, fuck you. I'm like, the first thing I do is ask you a question. You walk in and you treat me like I'm a 12-year-old. No thanks. My dad grew up. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that. Yeah, I grew up in Deer Park. And then moved to Huntington before I moved to Queens. I've been to Tokyo since 2008. Do they still have small? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, Martin, Not, I don't, I mean, I obviously only been there once, you know, the last year twice, but I felt like that was like outside of the real busy areas, you know, Shinjuku and Shibuya, like, and it's kind of how everywhere is. And then you go to some of the quieter neighborhoods that really like that. Oh, that's awesome, man. I didn't know that. I guess, I don't know if I was, yeah, I probably was there, you know, one point when you were working. I worked at Carbonara for 2 years and I learned a lot about the business. I worked at Grasshopper in Mineola for just a summer. I didn't really learn much about the business as much as I learned that I shouldn't tell snot-nosed kids to eat a bag of dicks because then they get upset and then we get into a fight. It only happened once. It wasn't really my fault. The kid was a dick anyway. Only been reading comics for about 10 years and I've been to one shop. They treat me so well so you don't feel, you know, I mean, that's when you find your shop, you should. I mean, like I do what I do, go around to shops because I used to travel for work and now I do this. So it makes sense for me to go to shops and dig around. But if I didn't, I would just go to Stargazer. I mean, that's where I get my comics as it is, and I'm usually in there twice a week because as I've gotten to know everybody that works there, the owner Damien and Danny and Kevin, it's like a place I can just go hang out if I want to like go see like because I work at home by myself. If I want to go see somebody, I can just go hang out there and just shoot the shit, and then I eventually buy something. So yeah, I said it's a kind of weird environment, but I mean, Sam, it's a special place. It is. There's not many four-story comic stores in the world or whatever. Straw. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty simple. What I did, I went the first trip. Hey, all right, get more than one suitcase. If you're flying international, this is a great question. Flying international, most international flights is check in two for free and then carry on one. What you do is know you're going to bring back an extra suitcase. So know you're going to pay like 65 bucks, whatever it is. Pack a big check-in with a smaller bag, you know, one that can also be a check-in in one suitcase, or maybe do two. That's what I did. I Russian dolled two suitcases. And then you if you're depending on what time of year you're going, like I was there in November, you don't need a heavy coat, one hoodie, and just don't bring a ton of clothes, but bring enough and then buy clothes there. And then when you're packing your suitcases, most hotels will have a scale to weigh. Wrap your books in clothing to give it a little extra padding and just make sure you weigh your suitcases so that you're under the 23 kilogram mark. And that's basically what I did. Shipping is just expensive. Like if you're buying from Sean, if you go visit Sean's thing, you may pay if you buy enough books to pay the 55 bucks to have the 5 kilo box sent back. Um, but yeah, that's what I did. There was an old comic shop in OSU campus, more of a head shop. Oh, nice. One of the owners, oh, that's cool. Oh, that's awesome. Do you have that zine? That's cool. Yeah, well, that's a valid thing in Seattle. Not so much at a comic store in New York. Oh, thank you. Yeah. And, you know, I trimmed it a couple weeks ago. Vinyl Fantasy, it's a Records of Comics. Damn, dude. Really? You know, it's so funny, Ian. Like, when I moved out of New York in 2014, there was like almost no comic shops in Brooklyn. And there was like the record shops had just kind of started popping up again. And, you know, there was obviously, what's the British one that was Rough Trade, but Floating Head. That place was, I used to go there every week. Oh, you guys are talking about that. Yeah, okay. Well, if you ever find it, I'd love to see a scan of it. Yeah, I mean, you could rush it. I mean, I just know when I'm going to cons in the States, I'm not buying that much stuff. I'm just buying art. But in Japan, like, yeah, it was that first trip. I learned a lot. The second trip, I was a little bit smarter, but I still all overbought. So, come on, guys, it's 8 o'clock. I'm just gonna smoke a little bit. Um, I've recently needed to partake again just to feel a little bit less In general. Early Bird Comics is the best shop in Brooklyn. It's literally a dude's apartment. No shit, I don't know anything about it. Like, last time I went to New York when I was home, I couldn't even find anything in Manhattan. There's that one store in the Village that's like by appointment only. I can't remember the name, but it was like the last day the guy finally got back to me. I'm like, I'm leaving. I can't do anything about it. And I'd love to do a Long Island shop run because it's where I grew up, but I don't know how many shops really exist besides Grasshopper, Fourth World. There's one in Babylon. There's two in Babylon, I think. All right, Ian, always good. Dude, I want to hit you up because I got a commission idea. I've been buying too much art. So I will hit you up soon, but take care of yourself. I appreciate you. And if anybody doesn't know Ian, you got to follow him on, find his socials. He's an amazing artist. He's got some amazing work out there. And somebody should definitely be looking at his art and comics. Understandable need, yes, to Early Bird. Yeah, well, Bill, when I come, we'll go. Oh, it is that one. Okay, so that's the one I was thinking of. Then, yeah, I definitely want to go to that spot. I don't know why I thought it was in the Village. Forbidden Planet, I was in there last time I was there. I mean, if you want to trade or hardcover, it's the best. And then with the Strand around the corner, you really can't beat it. But I really loved going into Forbidden Planet. I don't know why I'm saying it Forbidden Planet. Yo, I should be back home for Comic-Con this year. So I'll let you know. Yeah, of course, man. Appreciate you, Ian. But even back in when I was younger, in the 90s and the 2000s, when I was in New York City a lot on a weekly basis, I was never wowed by Forbidden Planet. I love that it's there, but it's interesting. I got into mini comics in the 2000s, and it was because of going to Mocha, and it was because of hanging out in the Village and Soho a lot, going to places that were a little skewed towards the alternative underground or the alternative art scene, like Cotton Candy Machine and Kid Robot. So I would buy like mini comics and stuff like that there, and I forgot that was part of like my routine. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. You go to the Strand. Is it? Okay. I just never really paid it. I've been to it's interesting because 2 summers ago when I went to the UK and Scotland, Forbidden Planet is so different there. Each shop is run differently. The London one was fun. Comic Tim had a good time at that one. But the Glasgow one was the best. They have a huge vintage comic section. They had artist editions that were out of print. And after I put out the video, Dan, I don't know if you know this. I don't know if I ever talked about it. But if you go to the comment section of, I want to say it's the last Scotland video. Oh, I got a message from the guy who runs the comics there, the vintage comics. And he's like, oh, thank you for putting the shop on, YouTube. It was a great video. He's like, next time you're in Glasgow, hit me up and I'll give you a tour of the back room and everything. I was like, yeah, because their vintage comic section was amazing. It had American stuff. It had British printings, but they had like a Haunt of Fear #1 in there. I was like, whoa, some real EC stuff sitting in Scotland. Leo, I appreciate you, my friend. Take care of yourself. Stay safe out there. Daily provisions. I don't know daily provisions, Ian, but I'd like to get to know it. Yeah. Forbidden Planet in the UK was, or at least, yeah, in the UK. I don't know about the New York one because, like I said, it was in there very briefly last time I was there. But the UK one, they sold all sorts of stuff. Like the one in Glasgow had a local comic section too, which is really nice to see. Oh yeah, St. Mark's. I used to know some of the people that worked there. They were the people that I worked at with the Comic Book Legal Defense Fund. Two of them were really cool. Allison's awesome. John, you probably know Allison. I don't need to mention anybody else because why even say their names? I remember that they had Jason Pearson Dragon Mini. Oh, that's cool. Wow. Sadly, Jim owns Forbidden Planet. Oh no, I didn't know that. That's sad. That was definitely, I don't think that was the guy though that messaged me. I'll have to go back and look. And now Rob, with Deadhead Comics in Edinburgh closed, like there's a hole to fill. Like I'm seriously have thought about moving to Edinburgh and opening up a comic shop. Edinburgh. UK Haunted Fear is different than the US one. I don't think it was a UK one though, Dan. It's that red cover where it looks like there's almost like a clan member or druid on it. I don't think it was a UK version because I don't remember seeing any Pence stamper thing on it. Derek said, hey Derek, the one in Scotland was a 10 out of 10. I told him about your video. He's super giddy. Oh, that's so fucking cool. I think maybe you told me this and I could, forgive me if I'm forgetting. But that's the thing. Like, I'm not putting stores on my channel to hope that they see it and like get me, like hook me up. I hope that somebody else sees it and says, oh, I'm going to Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and I'm going to go to Captain Planet's Universe of 10-cent Marvels. If somebody wants to make that, they can. It's good food. Oh, cool. Well, I love my breakfast sandwich. I love my bacon. I love my eggs. Garden of Earthly Delights. Is that the one? Okay. I've never heard of that store, Martin, but Scheme, I think it was Scheme Richards when I had him on Direct Edition, told me about a shop that I think sadly it just closed, but the guy was like the nice old guy who would just sell everything. Yeah, I thought they closed at the beginning of last year. Somebody told me that Gaff retired and that the shop closed. I mean, I guess I can go look on the Google. Yeah, temporarily closed. So I don't know what that means. If he's selling it, I don't know. Well, those floors definitely needed to be cleaned. Everything about that place needed to be cleaned. Nothing planned. I mean, if I'm able to get one, at some point I'm going to have Sean Crystal tattoo me. We've already talked about it, but he was already too booked up at OAX for me to make an appointment unless I got there like a week early. And no offense to Florida, but I don't want to spend more time than necessary in that state. So I have some spots that I want to fill up. But with Sean, the thing I've always wanted is somebody to do really great comic book accurate tattoos on me. Somebody who's like a comic book artist. And Sean is that person. If anybody doesn't know who I'm talking about Sean Crystal, aka Ink Daddy, aka Ink Pulp. I actually talked to him today. It was really nice. And like I said, he's going to be back on Direct Edition with Matteo Scalera the week of OAX and the week before OAX, which is in 3 weeks. So 2 weeks from now, Eric Canetti on the podcast. If you haven't subscribed to Direct Edition, I don't know what you're doing. Look. I mean, I'm putting so much of my heart and soul into it. Wow, I lost a subscriber on this channel tonight, but we're at 1563. I'd like to get to 2,000 subscribers by, well, let's say the 100th episode, which is in 12 episodes. Whenever I travel, I try to stop at a new shop and support the local scene. We all know, yeah, I've never been to Mile High for the reason that it's so disappointing. Oh, that's cool. I haven't been to Houston in a long time. It's a big city. It's probably, I imagine there's a lot of comic shops. What I used to do, and Derek, you'll appreciate this because I used to travel for work and I would be on a flight like every 2 weeks. Whenever I go to like the Southwest or the South, especially Houston, Dallas, Phoenix, because there's so many half price books and I used to go, that used to be my thing, like hit every half price books in a city so I could dig for comics and records and Blu-rays and stuff like that. So, and Houston, I know they have a bunch. In Dallas, they have a bunch also. That is right. He is the sweetest bearded ink slinger. Although Jim's close. Bedrock in Houston. I don't know that one, but that I'll remember that. Like a Ralph Star tattoo. No, I was thinking more of a Schoolhouse Rock on fire tattoo. No, it's just burning up. Oh, that's cool. The only Texas shop that I bought from online is Austin Books and Comics, which is a legendary store. Oh, John, if you ever look at people's pictures from it, you could see like they charge like everything is so ridiculously expensive. Like they have an X-Men one in the showcase and it's like $85,000 and it's raw or whatever. But like I've had friends send me pictures of them digging through boxes and it's like a $5 book is 25 bucks. North Carolina's great. I've done a couple of diggings there. One was around Heroes Con in Charlotte, but then last time I visited my brother, I went to a whole bunch of, because I drove from South Carolina to North. I went to like, that's an early video on my channel. It's probably in the comic shop digging, but I did South Carolina, North Carolina, had a good time. I used to love half price books, but I don't have hatred for them or anything, but if you'd been going to it before the pandemic and after, they went from being really what they were to like sort of full price books to like, oh, if it's worth any money, it's triple price books. Work is sending me to DFW in April. Andy, I would love to hear what people say, but in Dallas, you should go to the flagship half price bookstore because it's the size of a Best Buy. And then I'm going to recommend you a food place to go to. It's not related to the Seattle restaurant, but Oddfellows for breakfast. If I flew down to Dallas tomorrow, it would be the first thing I'd do is go to that place for breakfast. I hope it's still around. Well, you know, even when you do, if you're in a market that's anywhere populated, it's just so garbage. What up, Nathan? It is Wednesday. I'll probably be shutting down the stream pretty soon because I've been talking pretty solid for 2 hours. But good seeing you, Nathan. There you are. Titan. Okay, there you go. You guys, Andy, you're getting some recommendations right now. Pricing at the counter sometimes. I don't know about that, but I will say there is a store in Olympia, Washington. I won't even say the name because I don't want it. No, fuck it. It's Gabby's Olympic Cards and Comics. All of their back issues priced at the counter. I went there a couple times. I'll only go there if I need something that's new, like a trade or hardcover. I will never buy any of their back issues again. That's so funny, Derek. Brad, who works there, is maybe in the chat right now. He's actually become a homie, and he actually has a band called the Lionettes, and Lionettes is a garage punk band. You should check them out. But yeah, I've heard great things about Nirvana through Brad. They just had Mark Bagley there. We love Mark Bagley. And then Third Eye, yeah. I've never been to Third Eye, but Third Eye is praised across the board by everybody. I mean, I've talked to Dan about it, Daniel Warren Johnson. I've talked to Jimmy Rugg about it. Like, everybody says it's a great shop. If I were a sandwich, I would eat mostly. Yeah, exactly. Someone broke the windows at Gabby's because of politics. See, well, I don't. Yeah, I know somebody drove a fucking truck through the facade, and that I don't. Obviously, I think that's awful. Vandalizing a small business instead of like burning down a Target at 2 a.m. Come on, we shouldn't be doing that to small businesses. But that I don't. Obviously, the way she does pricing is not a reflection of how I feel about somebody vandalizing their shop. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, he is. He is. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, he's Brad told me that Bagley was there for like 7 hours. I've walked out of many shops instead of waiting for them to Google. Yeah, I just don't stand for that. Like, look, I know things gonna change. I know that running a small business retail store is very tough. I also know owning a comic store is very tough. That being said, the store that I mentioned has so many employees that you can't walk around that store with somebody asking you, what can I help you with? Why don't you take like 2 of those employees and have them price back issues? Just 2. You get through so much. Pastime Comics in Dallas, there you go. So remember, if a Target gets burnt down in Washington, we all heard nothing. Look, I I haven't been to Target in like a year or so. I'm just saying, like, when we hear about property getting destroyed, like a business getting destroyed, especially a big corporate business, do you really ever feel bad for a multi-billion-dollar company? No. But when somebody owns a record store, or a comic store, or a cake shop, or whatever, or a coffee shop, and it gets vandalized, you feel bad for that person because it's a person. It's not a faceless corporation. Nirvana cares, and they do so much for the community. That's really cool. I've only been out to Knoxville, I think, once in my life, and it was, it was like 10 years ago or so. And I went to Mellow Mushroom, and I went to a couple record stores. I don't know if I went to comic store, and I went to the original Pancake. Is it the original Pancake restaurant? The one that's on the campus that like people line up around the block. And what was great is a solo diner on a solo business trip. I got in right away. Target burns down at 2 a.m. Does it make a sound? No, you just hear the prices dropping because they're melting off the racks. Um, but unless anybody else wanted to ask me anything or mention a shop or shout out their LCS or something like that, I think it's a good way to end the show. But I'll say a couple of things. Please don't leave yet. Please don't leave yet. Hit the like button. That's a big thing. If you're watching an old video or a new video, just, throw a comment down. It doesn't have to be fucking a paragraph. It could just be one thing. The podcast direct edition, Gary Wood is the guest this week. He co-wrote Rogue One. He wrote Book of Eli. Please check that out. But next week, Sebastian fucking Bach from Skid Row. We talk about comics for a half hour. He tells the story about how he got his Amazing Fantasy 15. And you don't even have to be a diehard music fan to appreciate it. But if you're a metal fan, you're going to really appreciate it. At Mile High, they don't have big books out to look at. You have to ask the kiosk for them. They're overpriced. I didn't agree with some of the grades on the books. Yeah. Nobody says anything good about that place. Nobody that's into comics really says anything good about that place. Shout out to Atlantis Comic Shop in Santa Cruz. I've been there before. That's a fun shop. All right. And shout out to Most Wanted Comics in Corpus Christi, Texas. They were awesome to me last week. Look, we can do a show. Maybe I'll do a live show in the future, maybe in a couple weeks, where I invite a couple of comic shop owners on, or we just talk about, like, I can pull up a list of all the comic shops that I've been to that we can just talk about comic shops. Shout out to Rogues Gallery in downtown Windsor, Ontario. Jeff Lemire bought his first self-made books. That's cool. And shout out to the Windsor Spitfires if they're still a hockey team. One question. We grabbing breakfast before we get boned tomorrow. I almost feel like we should get food after, because I don't want to eat breakfast and then fall asleep in a movie theater. It's just, it happens way too often. But I'll text you after I'm done. Cool. Well, Derek, I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody that was here tonight. Thank you for taking part of the giveaway. Yes, I used to have a Tim Gleason jersey. Everybody have a great night. Take care of yourselves. I know it's really fucking weird right now and it's terrible and bad things are happening, but I will continue to provide this community for me and for you to take part in. I don't have a Discord, but I love you, Tyler. I have a Patreon, so I'm going to be doing some live Q&As there eventually once we've got about 100 members. We're close. I think we're at 80 and 60 paid. So join the Patreon. Help support the channel. It's $5 a month. It's less than the cost of a comic. And I appreciate all of you, and take care of each other where you can. Yeah. And I appreciate you all. Everybody have a great night. Stay cool. Stay awesome. Fuck ice. Dave out.